Without Cavill's death stare and vicious ways as Geralt of Rivia, it just didn't make sense for The Witcher to go on. But Netflix had to find a way to keep the show going, so they chose to go down the mysterious route. They didn't reveal anything about the actor's departure. It's been quite a while since everybody first heard of Henry quitting the show, and one would think that people would know at least some things about why he left in the first place. Instead, every effort to understand his leaving is based on guesses and speculation. But the most surprising part of all of this is the fact that even the cast knows nothing about it. Imagine, the people he's worked with for so long simply don't know why the show's lead actor suddenly decided not to join them anymore. I'd throw a fit if it was my friend leaving the show unannounced. But after all, it seems like it's part of the showrunner's greater scheme. Maybe they were trying to protect the rest of the people involved from the blow that the actor's departure caused. Because obviously, it's not every day that the show's lead character just walks out randomly. All of this may be surprising to you, but wait until you hear what one of the cast members had to say about all of this. Lars Mikkelsen was entirely clueless. While everybody was scrambling to find answers, this guy, who played Stregobor in the first 2 seasons, revealed that he had not helped anybody out because he was surprised when he got to hear about the big news.
Offer you my condolences, but I seem to remember that witches don't feel anything.
I mean, every actor in the show, including him, knew how Henry was a giant geek. And you've all probably seen how he was just as passionate about the show's storyline as everybody else.
She took one look at me, screamed, vomited, and passed out. Yeah.
So, to say the least, the news of him quitting his role as Geralt came as a huge shocker. Since Stregobor and Geralt had only a couple of scenes together, the actor didn't even get to talk to his co-star. And because they barely got to talk, any chance of him knowing where Henry was headed after this was dashed right there. But this cluelessness doesn't mean that they've lost hope. Some cast members have nothing but admiration for their ex-co-star in their hearts.
You talk. Of course I talk! What happened with you, you motherfucker goat?
We are, of course, talking about Lizzie, who's an absolute fan. She recalled how, throughout his time in the show, the actor has given a lot to this world. And even though he has left his role midway, he has done a phenomenal job at setting the right foundation for the character's growth.
Fine. I claim the tradition as you have. The lore of surprise. Give me that which you already have, but do not know.
All that's important for the fans of The Witcher all around the globe is the fact that they see an original, heartfelt portrayal of their favorite character. Not just this, but Annis went on to speak about all of her hopes for the upcoming seasons. And she simply can't wait to see how things progress, because who knows, maybe it becomes better than before. Still, none of this hope changes the fact that Henry's sudden departure shook the entire fan base. But Netflix has gotten super good with damage control. It did not take them long to replace Cavill, but why did it all happen so fast? They had to keep the morale up, and Hemsworth was just the man for it. One Geralt was replaced by another, and I've got to admit, they didn't want to compromise on the looks, and it's probably safe to say that the torch was passed on to the right hands.
If I have to choose between one evil and another, then I prefer not to choose at all.
But the most important purpose that this served was the fact that they had to give the cast some hope to keep going. Not to exaggerate, but events like the show's lead's departure can break a show into pieces. But things are a bit different because instead of hopelessness, Hemsworth and his co-stars feel a greater sense of responsibility. If you look at it, the show's future truly depends on the remaining cast.
They created me just as they created you. We're not so different.
And it's up to them how intelligently they try to cover up the gaping hole that Cavill left behind him. While I'm pretty sure that Liam will give his absolute best to continue the work Henry started, there are other reasons why some fans are just not looking forward to this new chapter. In fact, Doug Cockle had quite a lot to say about the show's direction. He was the voice actor for Geralt in the video game.
You've got work to do. Your reflexes are still slow.
And his complaints about Netflix's decisions regarding the show seem pretty legit. While speaking in an interview, he said that he fully believes that Cavill left because the show was becoming something entirely else. And deviating from the original storyline is probably what threw the actor off considering how he is a big fan of the books and the games himself.
Because I love the character, and I know how much other people love the character, and so people will ask me to do silly things with Geralt, and
This truly puts his hesitation to go on with the role in perspective. And Cavill said that he truly understands the actor's decision to quit because fans of the original storyline probably can't digest this huge shift in the storyline.
And the longer he goes untreated, the more likely it is to spread. He could die.
Fuck, Geralt.
Yeah, we won't let that happen.
But there's something else far more interesting to look at regarding this voice actor. He expressed his love for the series back in 2020 when the first season came out.
Oh, fuck.
Here you are. Remember me?
He talked about how he was in love with all the episodes, but his opinions took a pretty sharp turn when the second season rolled out. This was when they made the most amount of the changes and moved away from the source material. And because all of these changes were probably put in place so that Netflix could make it appeal to the larger general audience, it's not surprising that most of the game enthusiasts decided to quit the show right there. In fact, you won't believe what some of them did. They gave their condolences to Liam because, at the end of the day, it's not the actor's fault that he entered a dying franchise. Doug, while talking about the recast, said that he wishes more power to Liam and made it clear that he doesn't envy the man. And the fans did not hesitate to agree with his sentiments. One of them renamed the show, calling it The Witcher written by a corporate focus group. And it's honestly hilarious how creative this fan base is. Their dislike for the way Netflix took the show's progression into its own hands is pretty clear. So, in the end, everybody understands why Henry decided to leave. But how tough is this role going to be for the new Geralt of Rivia? Well, Hemsworth has quite a lot of fans to win over, and that is just the beginning of it, because not only does he have to do a good job to fill the void left by the previous Geralt, but he also has to make sure that the transition feels smooth and that his acting manages to make the hearts of the fans grow soft for him. I mean, it won't be hard, considering how a single look on his face makes most people fall in love, but for those who are not wooed by his appearances, a lot of responsibility rests upon his shoulders. And the more hate we see on the internet accumulating for Netflix, as well as the showrunners, the tougher the job starts to feel for the poor man.
Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Thank you so much. It's been very nice. Thank you for the...
But all that being said, the third season still features Cavill.
Not a happy ever after all.
And as it comes out this summer, many opinions might start to shift in the show's favor. But really, it all depends on how authentic they've managed to stay. So we'll just have to wait and watch. And that's all for the latest gossip from the Witcher universe. We'll see you in the next video.